Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here today. And today we are going over my fire rate Harlowe build. It is all about high fire rate and a lot of damage. Not even using the shotgun mode, so it's not the most damage this gun can output, but
Someone's ready for the big
high fire
time!
rate and lots of damage. The main focus on this build. So we're gonna start off with going over the weapons. So we really only got one weapon that we're using for bossing here. And that is the bod. We are using the ceramic bod with torque stickies. Each torque sticky has a 3% chance in, that can cause 3 explosions. So fire shoots out a lot of stickies, and you also need the SMG mode to do the most amount of damage with that with the bod. And then this one has a license amp damage. Damage to gun shields amplifies gun damage. So if we aim, we get extra damage. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. The amp damage. And then for mobbing, we're using the Mad Lad. Pretty fun. Fire rate is pretty crazy on this weapon. We're also using the Golden God for fire rate because the fire rate's pretty good on this, and it is also pretty good for mobbing. You will run out of ammo on this super quick, especially if you let it overheat. You will run out of ammo on this like crazy. It is pretty common. You run out of ammo on it. And then we got the Bolshoi Wombo combo. This isn't a very good version of it. The base damage is actually pretty low. But we are using the Wombo combo for mobbing 2. The bod is our bossing weapon. We're not really using the bolted lightning. It is kind of usable on this build, but we're really not using it. So we're using this for the bullets spare. And then for this, we're using the large triple bypass, which on use gives us reload speed for by 25% for 10 seconds. And it's kind of beneficial because we got to reload a lot. So it's kind of useful. And then we're going to be using the practical skeptic. When Harlowe slams an enemy in stasis, she automatically fires radiation darts and cryo darts and homes in on enemies, shoot at enemies with a status effect, restores 5% of action skill cooldown. And then the bonuses we got in this one is 60% stasis damage and 20% damage dealt. And what really helps out this build is of all the damage, as you'll see later on, is the Watts for Dinner with Siphon. So this Watts for Dinner has Siphon. When dealing damage, there's a 10% chance that it will grant Overshield, 1,509 Overshield. That is the chance that it's grabbing, and you get it pretty often because the fire rate is pretty high, so you get the overshield pretty often. And then here, for an enchantment, we're using this to boost the bod mostly. So the brand really don't matter too much. We're using this to boost the bod, but it also boosts our guns with ripper parts. So like when we're using our Golden God during combat, it gets a boost, but it also has a charge time increase. But this enchantment gives us sniper rifle damage, gun splash damage, and SMG splash damage. So our body's getting a pretty big splash damage and a regular sniper rifle damage. So we are using 3 bullets to spare. The first bullet spare increases gunfire rate by 5%. The second one increases the magazine size by 20%. And the third one is gunfire rate is increased by 50% of the gun magazine size. And I'm not sure if it's lower. If your mag is lower, it shoots faster. If it's higher, it shoots faster. I haven't exactly figured that out. And then we're using 2 airstrikes. The first one gives us 20% more splash radius, and then the second one gives us 20% more splash damage on top of the splash damage we have here. So that is roughly pretty close to 100% splash damage. We have 100% splash damage boost when it comes to the skill tree. So now when it comes to the skill tree. So what we're using for skills, we've decided to put one into quantum immortality for a little bit of health regeneration. So we have a little bit of uh health regen, and then we decided to put five into parallel circuit. So when we're re-triggering our action skill, Harlow gains increased gun damage by 30%. And then we use this one. We only put one. We put 5 points into Bright Future. Whenever Harlow triggers or re-triggers the action skill, she gains increased fire rate by 36%. And then we put one in negative entropy, so we can put 3 points in the precision engineering, which gives us a 30% critical hit damage. And then we got 5 points into indiscrete math, which gives us a 70% splash damage increase. So we get a total of 70% from this plus the other one that we're using. So it's roughly it is over 100% splash damage increase from everything we're using. And then for the green tree, we have five in main's hum. Gains maximum shield capacity and increase maximum shield over capacity. This is increases your maximum shield capacity by 25% and your maximum over shield capacity by 50%. Then we put 5 points in here. When Harlow irritates an enemy, she gains increased gun damage. This affects stacks. And then we put 2 points in mass function, so we get extra reload speed. Creative flow. We decided to put 3 points in here. When Harlow deals increased gun damage based on her overshield, the more overshield she has, the bigger the bonus. And then we put 5 points in the decoherence. Harlow deals increased damage with all sources to entangle enemies inside of the flux generator take further increased damage. And then we were using Latin Charge. Harlow deals bonus damage with guns, melee attacks, action skills. And while she has overshield, the more overshield she has, the bigger the bonus. Again, the Watch for Dinner grants us overshield with Siphon. So these are really useful on this build with the overshield. We're still looking for a triple roll Siphon. And then we ended up putting just 5 points into into the red tree. We just put 5 points into the red tree, which gives us extra fire rate, which is that's the whole point. So otherwise we would have put it into maximum shield capacity and restore charge rate if we were running a different build. But we put it into fire rate, so we gain fire rate we get some extra fire rate out of it. And then for specializations, we are using the best defense. The Vault Hunter gains increased damage dealt based on the fullness, the shield, or health, whichever has higher maximum capacity, which helps us out, giving us boost to our shield while we're gives us more damage boost, 30% more damage when our shield's full. So when we have overshield and our shield's full, we get an insane damage boost there. And then we are using riddle this, so we gain gun damage stacks pretty easily. And then I decided to put we decided to use lead alive this time. So this one, when you're in fight for life, all your guns are automatically reloaded. The Vault Hunter gains increased fire rate by 25%, which helps us get up a little bit easier. Because the fire rate is even faster when we're down. And then we decided to put one in here. Killing an enemy with a critical hit will cause them to explode, dealing skill. Those are my specializations that I use, and that is the skill tree. That is the build that we've made for our Fire Ray Harlow. And I hope you guys enjoy this build. And I will have this save file in my Discord. The link to that will be in the description. I also stream on Kick and Twitch. I will be live tomorrow and Sunday. So if you guys want to catch me there, I will be live on there tomorrow. I would say around noon EST is the latest I will go live. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below what you think about this build, and peace out.